to my cluttered garage. I'm really glad you're here. A place where we can laugh and talk and days are filled with cheer. The clouds and sun may come and go, but one thing's always clear. Welcome back, my friend. You know I'm really glad you're here. Yeah.
Hey, welcome back, my friends. I am really glad you're here. Welcome to Livestream number 46, December 6th, 2021. And we've got lots of folks here watching already, and I'm really excited about tonight's show. As you know, we've got a special guest, and I'm happy to have him here tonight. So before we bring him on, I want to go through a little bit of opening comments, as we often do, and say hello to the folks out there. I see, so many familiar faces. Kevin and Caden and Chad from Purple Collar Life. Edward Joyce is here. David White, Peterson Farms of Little Nashville. Maggie, how are you? Or is it Glenn? I'm on to your trickery using someone else's account to watch. That's all right. Good to see you, though. And we've got people watching from YouTube and Facebook because we're able to stream simultaneously to both platforms. Pretty fancy. Anyway, there's Linda, and hey, the Hexman is here. Good to see you, Adam. And Ross on the land. So many fine folks. And I really am appreciative of you coming back each Monday night. When we started doing this, we weren't sure that it would continue, but it's become a Monday night tradition for a lot of people, for me, certainly. And what great fun, really fun. And I think it's such a neat way to start the week off. A lot of videos come out at the end of the week. Live streams are done Fridays and Saturdays. And I kind of picked Monday, and it seems like it worked out pretty well. So thanks for spending your Monday night with me. Just an hour. We're going to, we always try to keep this to about an hour. And it seems to work out pretty well. Brutal Bob is here. Hey, Brutal Bob. And Vinny. I might have said some of these names before. But anyway, let's go through and see what announcements there are. I have to remind you, bear with me. You can also find the channel on Facebook and Instagram, if you're watching on YouTube, that is. So check that out. I've been posting some things on Facebook that you don't see on YouTube, some behind-the-scenes things, and Instagram, some photographs and things like that. So they each of these platforms have their purpose, and it's great for you to follow along. So be sure to do that. I appreciate it if you click the thumbs up while you're watching the live stream tonight, or if you're watching the replay. That's always helpful. And then about tonight's show, well, we've got waiting in the backstage here is Tony from Tony's Tractor Adventure Homestead. And what great content. And I hope that you're all familiar with Tony. I think you are. It's one of the channels that the Google Analytics tells me that people who watch my channel also watch that channel. But if you haven't heard of it, it'll be a great channel for you to be introduced to tonight. So, also during the live stream, here in the live chat, you can post comments or questions. We don't always see them because they go by pretty quickly, and when you're talking, it's difficult. But as we've done in the past, it works out really well. If you have a question for me or for Tony tonight, in the live chat, type the word question followed by your question, and that stands out, helps us to see it. I like it if you type the word question in all caps, and then as we're scrolling through, we'll say, oh, there's a question from so-and-so, and it helps. So that's kind of the formula that we use for that. Also, if you're new to the live stream, if this is your first time on the live stream, please put that in the live chat comments so that we can welcome you and express our gratitude that you're here. But welcome to the family if it's your first live stream. Also, be sure to stick around because toward the end, we'll be doing a sticker giveaway that we've been doing every week as well. So that's always a good time too. And I can see that folks are already ready with questions. So hold your questions until we get ready for questions because they'll get lost in the comments. Do you like that? What else do I have to say here? Not too much else. Not too much else. I apologize if you sent me any pictures this week. I've been trying this thing where if you email pictures to me, I'll try and show them on the live stream. I've had people send pictures of their tractors and projects and pets and whatnot, and I like to show them on the live stream. If you send any this week, I apologize. It's been kind of busy, and I may not have been able to pull those pictures out and share them, but it's kind of a fun thing. So send your pictures, if you can, to the email address there, contactmcgtv@gmail.com, and if we get a few, we'll share them on a live stream. And I think that's going to be it for now. And I see your comments, so can't go through too many of those just yet. But again, welcome to everybody. Now, I'm going to bring Tony on, and that'll be your time to listen to Tony talk to us, but then you'll also be able to ask some questions. So before I do that, I would like to introduce you to Tony's channel. I have a little intro here that I was able to put together. So check this out, and when this is over, it's only a minute long or so, we'll bring Tony on and welcome him to the live stream.
Hey, welcome back to the channel.
Hey, welcome back to the channel. We've got the sawmill set up, got the gizmo dog here. Hey, welcome back to the channel. We have got something different today.
Hey, welcome back to a better pole barn. In our pole barn build, we're going to honor some time-honored traditions, but we're also going to try some new stuff. We're going to show you the easy way to put down posts without concrete and still be compliant.
What are you doing down there?
What an adventure that looks like.
It looks, it doesn't show the hard work. It makes it look fun.
It looks like you lead a very adventurous life there on Tony Tractors Adventure and Homestead.
We try. We're showing how we really are. We're just what we do, and the ups and downs and the tears and the knuckle busting and the mistakes. We try to show it all.
Well, it is good to see you, my friend, and I just want to start out by thanking you for joining us tonight.
It's a pleasure. It really is.
I think we'll have a lot to talk about in a short time, so I do appreciate your time and appreciate that you're here. I do want to mention, as you heard in the intro, that people will be able to ask questions in the live chat, and you should be able to see that on your screen. And so if there's any comments that you see that you want to give a shout out to or respond to, just stop me anytime, and we'll go over that. So
I see a lot of familiar names.
Right, they are a lot of familiar people that join us every week, and I see them commenting on your videos and my videos, and it's a great community of not only content creators but content consumers. We have such a mix of people. A good number of these folks here have their own channels, and I often tell people, look at these channels, and if it looks interesting to you, go out and check out their channel. Other people are simply content consumers, and we appreciate them watching, but it's a great way for everybody to get together.
It's really a neat community. It really is.
It is for sure. So let me ask you a couple questions to start out here.
All right.
Let's talk pre-YouTube just for a moment, because I do know that you are a military veteran, and you served a full career, if I'm not mistaken. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
I did. I served a pretty full career. Yeah, I did almost 30 years in the Army. really, I went into the Army for college money. I grew up on a farm, and farming was tough, and there was just really no jobs. So I was like, hey, I want to go to college. So I went in for 4 years, and I stayed almost 30.
How about that?
Yeah, I really liked it. I enjoyed it. I mean, there was some bad days, but for the most part, it was just a wonderful career.
I am not a military person. My father was, my uncle was, but so I'm not really surrounded by a lot of military people. But I have to say, I don't think I've ever heard anybody tell me that they regretted their time in the military. I realize there's some hard times, but
finest people in the world. I mean, you really do.
Yeah, that's the one thing I hear is great people, great diversity, because you're not only meeting from people from different parts of the country, different parts of the world, different cultures. It's a great way to, I guess, to step out of your bubble, so to speak. You can really experience different things.
But when I first went in the military, I went through the basic training and the AIT, and then that's the advanced training, and then I went to my first duty station, which was Germany. So I'm this 19-year-old kid that all of a sudden I'm living in Germany. Where else could that happen?
That's right.
That's a very and I come home with a wife and still got her.
Score.
So she still keeps me.
Nice. Well, that's a great benefit. Now, was that from Germany?
I met my wife in Germany. Met her in Germany. We'll be 30. We've known each other for 30 years, and we'll be married 30 years this coming in April.
Congratulations. Is she German?
Well, she's an American citizen, but she was born. Her mother's German. Her dad is worked for the Army over there as a civilian, and she went to German schools, German culture. She had dual citizenship for a long time, so she's German by culture and American by paper.
Right.
So she makes a mean schnitzel.
Now you're in the great state of Tennessee.
Yep.
And not super close to Memphis, I don't think.
No, we're northwest Tennessee.
Okay.
Tennessee's divided into the 3 grand parts, and we're in the north. We're in the west side of Tennessee.
Right. But I mentioned Memphis because, as many people know, Elvis Presley was in the Army, and I believe he found Priscilla in Germany, if I'm not mistaken. But she was not German. But anyway, he brought a girl home from Germany too.
You ever go to the Graceland? I've been there several times. It's pretty neat.
We went to Graceland once about 3-4 years ago because we do have family in Tennessee, just south of Nashville. So we were with the family for a wedding, and then we headed west because I always wanted to see Graceland, and I'm glad I did. I really am. And it's a weird thing. We took the tour of the house, and of course they built this new entire center across the street from Graceland now, and it was kind of new when we were there, so it was weird how it was kind of vacant. But my wife thinks I'm kind of weird, but I'd like to go back. I'd like to go through the house again. It's a very the house is cozy. It just feels comfortable in there, and I didn't really get to enjoy it. And I shared this on a previous live stream. I didn't really get to enjoy the tour of the house because they gave you these iPads, and the tour was like a self-directed tour, and John Stamos was on the iPad, and mine wasn't working. So I'm messing with this iPad, and I'm missing the house because I'm trying to get this thing to work. So I feel like I missed it. But
I enjoyed it. The big jet sitting in the middle of that was pretty cool, I thought.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, we saw the Lisa Marie, the jet, and that was a lot of fun too. But it's surprising, people think that the Graceland Mansion is this ginormous mansion, but
it really wasn't. It was.
It's very modest by today's standards, for sure.
Right.
But anyway, sidetrack there.
Yeah. We was asking about my military career, and we got to Graceland.
We got to Graceland.
Yeah.
Anyway, so you retired from the military.
I did. I guess 2015. That's when I hung my hat up. And I like I said, I enjoyed myself. Been all over the world, seen just things that I never would have seen if I had not chosen that career path. But it was I started off enlisted. I did get my college done, and I became a warrant officer. it's hard for me. I southernize it and say I'm a warrant officer, but it's a warrant officer.
Warrant.
So
Enunciate your T's there, Tony.
Yeah, I retired as a chief warrant officer. It's the best rank in the Army. I mean, literally, everybody's scared of you, and nobody knows who you work for. And you just walk around the clipboard and look at the clipboard, and people just scatter. I mean, they don't want she's going to have me do something, and so that was.
Are you serving warrants like a court does?
No, warrant officers are it's a long complicated history, but basically for the last say 50 years, the warrant officers they specialize in a specific field. So and they're really truly no longer warrant officers. They're commissioned officers like anybody else, but we stick to one field. Warrant officers are about 3% of the Army, and a huge portion of that are aviators. And then you have what we call walking warrants, what I was, and they're like 0.5% of the military. And all we do is, we manage a specific field. Say, I was a maintenance officer. So all I've done was went to schools for maintenance, and I managed large, I started out managing a single shop, and then larger shops, and then, battalions. And as you go up in the hierarchy,
right.
I think I joked with you earlier, towards the end of my career, I was a professional emailer. I was good. I mean, I could,
You're a good emailer, huh?
I knew where the commas went and everything.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I emailed you to ask you about joining the live stream, and you wrote back to me, so you're a good emailer. Yeah. Good responder. So anyway, I'll have to look that up on my own time, because we could probably talk about that a lot more. Partly because I still don't fully understand, but I don't want to get into it and make you explain all that. But
yeah, the history's complicated, and like I said, it's the best rank in the Army because nobody knows anything about it. It's like I said, everybody's walking around going, "What's that guy do?"
Well, that is fun. That's fun. So let's. But you retired, you said around 2015?
Yep.
All right, so let's talk about YouTube, because I looked at your channel. Congratulations, by the way. You're just about reaching 50,000 subscribers, right? 49,500 some. So
maybe this month. You're going to put me over the top, man. I know.
I hope so. Everybody, after this show, go over to Tony's Tractor Adventure Homestead and subscribe to the channel if you've not yet.
Appreciate that. I don't really even look at that, but honestly, I haven't. I might glance at it once a week. It's just not a driving force for me. But it seems like when it's not, that's when you start doing better.
Yeah, and it's not all that important, but it's kind of important. It feels good.
It's a cool number. I think 50 is it's one of the numbers I look at. Man, when I get to 50,000, I'm there, and I realize now that I'm like, it's really no different.
Yeah, that's right. But it is an accomplishment, and certainly something to be proud of. It means that 50,000 people put their faith in you, that they appreciate your channel, and it's a compliment.
It really is, and the part I like about it is the community. Like I said earlier, I have a group of guys that just that follow what we do, and I mean they're supportive. I mean there's the naysayers, we all get them in our on YouTube and in our normal life. But right. for the majority, the people are just awesome. I mean, like I asked for some help on building a beam, and 99.9% was like, "Hey, you could do this." It was all positive, and I think I really enjoyed that part.
Yeah, I agree 100% for sure. So, your oldest video that I could find on your channel was August 9th, 2016. And that was demonstrating a Massey Ferguson GC 1705 subcompact tractor. Right. Now I don't know if you've deleted videos, or if that was your step into YouTube shortly after your retirement. Really, 2016 is
when
soon
I was
after. So
the dance classes, I went ahead and deleted all that because no, just kidding. No, there's no dance classes.
It was Tony's tutus. Tony's tutu
that was
channel.
Really, yeah, the tutus they were in, man.
Yeah.
I really that's about when I started it, and it's kind of a funny story how I started. Well,
we want to hear that. That's great.
Yeah, that's really the fun part. So I retired, and I'm all of a sudden I've got all this time on my hands, and so I bought that little tractor, and I said I'm gonna start a garden. And I also got into the tractor forums, really just by accident. And some guy, I wish I knew who he was. I wish I could find that question. But I bought that little tractor and a tiller, and I put a picture of it on the forum. He goes, "Hey, can you make a YouTube video on how to set the tiller up?" And I said, "I don't know. I've never even thought about it." And I said, "Let me try." So I went out, and I'd done a lot of instructing in the military. Uh, Not necessarily good, because I don't think I am, but I just went and made like an instructional video, and I'd never thought anything else about that. And next thing I know, that video's got like 10,000 views. I'm like, wait a minute, there's something, and that's where it started.
I'm onto something here, right?
Yeah, it is it's a puzzle, because you want to stay true to yourself and make stuff that you enjoy, but you also want to entertain people too a little bit. And I'm starting to get to that point where I like the entertaining part of it too. Not that it's like arrogance or just, hey, I want to be that guy, but it's just I like to share what we're doing because it's unique.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and you're an awful humble guy, because I think you don't give yourself enough credit. I think you're a natural, and you're easy to watch and fun to watch.
I think my wife is just a really good camera person.
Yeah, she's got the right. She knows your good side, huh?
Yeah, because if you watch those videos from 2016, you're like, man, that sucks. And
Well,
then Tanya, when you can tell when Tanya come on board, she's always had a good eye. She was a photographer. I mean, she had her own photography business for a good while. And
your channel stands out because you have a camera operator. A lot of us don't have that.
right.
And not only do you have a camera operator, you have a good camera operator. I mean, she does a
sees
great
things
job
that I
with
just-
close-ups, and
Yeah.
her composition is really good, and her angles and everything. So you're fortunate to have that. And now, have you done the editing, or does she edit as well?
No, I do most of the editing. That's again, it's nothing that in my career ever prepared me for that. So I just found a passion with the editing side of it. I watched a lot of YouTube videos on editing videos. I'll say that.
Yeah, yeah.
'Cause
Well,
when I
that's what
started out, I didn't even know what a splice was, or I had no idea. Just common terms like pan left, pan right. I had no idea. I didn't any idea what that was. It's just I can tell you the torque specs on a 5-ton truck in an Army, but as far as a pan, I had no idea.
Right. So there is what am I seeing here? Oh, there's a question about the dog. I want to bring that up while we see that. Is that Gizmo?
No, I'm gonna. This is terrible. My wife set this all up behind me. I have no idea what that dog means.
By the way, she could have joined us.
Yeah,
She doesn't have to be just behind the camera.
Yes, she like I said, as far as the camera work goes, I mean, she is what makes it, because I won't even say I've caught up to her edit. You have to learn how to edit and put the videos together and tell a story. And she has been providing all the raw material for a long time. I just didn't know how to use it.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
there's a term called shoot to edit, and sometimes you have to be an editor to understand how to shoot properly. You have to be a shooter to understand how to edit properly. So, it all works together. But I think John's absolutely right here with that. And so you started out with that first video, and then you decided that you were onto something, and you just continued to put out content and just grew. You never set out to be the YouTube celebrity that you are today, right? It just kind of happened.
Yeah, I don't know that yet. I just did it in normal Tony fashion. I just like, hey, this is interesting. It's exciting. Again, I had a lot of downtime because I retired, and I was like, just went at it head on, and I had no idea where it was going to go, and I started out, I was like, I'm going to get a tractor company to send me a hat. That was my original.
That was your goal.
That was my original goal. And my wife, she always picks me. Because she said, "No, you're not going to get no hat." She's just messing with me. And when we cut up a lot, you guys just don't realize what we do behind the scenes. But
Yeah.
yeah, there is some dancing when you guys don't see. And we're out there in the woods cutting up. It's fun.
Nice.
We have a
Nice.
good time.
Hey, there's a hat over my shoulder here from Woodland Mills,
I know.
and that was a first for me. Like I was excited. Like I made a video of my wood chipper, and I shared it with Woodland Mills. They loved it, and he's like, "We're gonna send you a hat." I'm like, whoa, I got a hat. So that's awesome. And you know, you didn't expect to be to grow where you are today, and it's really limitless. You have no idea. None of us know where we're going to go from here. You know, you could continue to grow and grow, and I think you're in good shape for that. Let's get to some questions because we don't want time to run out on us. I do see a question here posed as a question, and I did want to ask you about sawmills too. So that's part of your channel. It's Tony's Tractor Adventure, but you've ventured into sawmills. Tell us about this sawmill that you've put together, and you're using it to build other things with it.
That's kind of I love a challenge. I always say if it was easy, anybody could do it. So we decided we're going to build our end-to-end homes. We've got these grand plans of our property that we bought, but I don't want to have anybody build it for me. I want to do it all. It's kind of
pretty ambitious, Tony.
I want to earn it,
Yeah.
And I grew up. My granddad built houses. My family built houses. So I've been around the construction my whole life. My dad owned construction equipment. So I remember the sawmill. My uncle was a logger. He had a logging company, and he took me to the sawmill when I was about 12 or 13, and I was fascinated with it. I was hooked. I can remember. I remember seeing I think it was a Wood-Mizer bandsaw mill, maybe back in the 90s, like one of the first ones. And I was like, I want that. And, I wanted a bandsaw mill for as far back as I remember. That's how we got into the sawmill. It's just Tony's inner child, getting bigger toys. But we're actually using it and going to build our dream. We're trying to cut every board. There's some things we can't do. Treated lumber, I can't do it. But on our new barn that we're building, we're cutting all the lumber with it. I use the Frontier, not because of any loyalty or anything like that. It's just that I looked at all the different sawmills. It was in my price range, and I was like, I'm gonna order this thing, and I jumped, and so.
And they're not an outrageously expensive piece of equipment to buy. You certainly can spend a lot, but you can get into it relatively.
It's a little misleading because, you can buy a sawmill for maybe less than $3,000, right in there. But
right.
Then you realize you need a cant hook, and then you realize you need you got to have more than one blade, and those things are 25. Wait, I just hit a nail. That's $25 gone. And and then I need a sharpener for my blades. I need I need to build an over my sawmill.
Yeah, that's right. You've got to build an enclosure for your mill, and
it's just one of those things where it starts out. But I guess it's like anything. We all start with something and go, but But I enjoy it. I think that's another thing too. Is I'm fascinated with the sawmill. I probably the most thing I'm fascinated with is watching a piece of lumber you come off the mill, and I'm the first person who gets to see the grain.
Yeah.
That to me that is the neat part of it.
It's fun to watch in a video, and it's obviously got to feel different when you're standing right there. But it's kind of mesmerizing watching these mills in these videos. I see a comment here from Tractorman 44, Wendell, and he just put together a Frontier mill, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, he did, and a fine job he did too.
He really did, and built a custom trailer for it, right, to make it portable.
I built my trailer, and his trailer is. I'm kind of ashamed. I'm just saying, he's got a really heavy trailer that's never going to flex. He's a great fabricator.
He really is. He really is. So what's the 30-foot beam he's talking about?
Okay. Oh, I don't even want to talk about that yet. Uh,
Uh-oh.
so
You don't have to talk about anything
no,
you
it's
want to talk
fine.
about.
I want to admit my failures. I listen. I can handle it. So we're building. We're trying to learn everything we do. We're trying to learn. So I'm never going to say I can't do it. I will say earlier, in my family, there's always been a saying: if somebody else can do a lot of it, I can do a little of it. And so that's been my whole life's motto. I've never been afraid to try anything. And we built this beam for the front of the sawmill, and it's 30 foot, it's 28-foot span, and it's a laminated beam. And I took all kind of advice from our community. And one guy, Mike, told me, he's like, "Hey man, you need to put like a 6-inch crown in it." And I'm like, "Okay, it seems too much to me." And so, I mean, I it was just a post on there, so it wasn't like a conversation. And boy, I wish I listened to him. He apparently knows really what he's talking about, because I probably got about a 1-inch sag now. But there's no,
Yeah.
and that's what you do. You move on. I can't sit and cry about it. So we're going to take that beam and pick it up and move it to the back row. And the back row has three posts, so it's
Right.
fine.
Yeah. You can't flip
That's
it
a
over.
long explanation for that.
Yeah, it's all right. You can't flip it over though, so it's
No, then it would be like a 9-inch sag.
oh, it'd be worse then. I see.
I built it with a 2-inch crown. I was very conservative. I thought 6 inches might be a little much.
Yeah, that sounds like a lot to me. I'm with you on
Well,
that. Thinking, no way, that's a lot.
30 foot with span, it drops a lot. And I've learned a lot on how to do it. I did it wrong.
30 feet is a lot though. That's a big span.
Yeah. Plus,
That
I
really
use
is.
green wood. Everything we're doing is green.
Oh,
We're building everything green, basically like they used to. We used a lot of green wood when I was a kid building things, so it's not new to me. I've seen it done.
I didn't know you could do that. Hey, I want to just give a shout out, thank you to ITC Quick Attach for the super chat there. Much appreciated.
He's got a system, right, where you can put like toolboxes and.
Yeah, they're working on some sort of quick change system.
That's pretty
If
neat.
I'm not mistaken. Toolboxes and different rack systems and whatnot. So pretty neat what's getting ready to come out of that company.
Yep.
So we do appreciate that. So your mill, the Frontier Mill, yeah, obviously watching Wendell's channel, you have to assemble that, and that's standard practice, right? You had to assemble your mill.
Yes.
Mhm.
And the way I love the way that Frontier does kind of like the marketing, is so that you can be intimately knowledgeable of your sawmill.
Uh-huh. That's a good way to put it.
And you are. When you get through, you know, because I mean it comes in boxes. It
Yeah.
really does. It's, and the instructions are clear, and if you've got some reasonable mechanical skill, you can put it together in a couple of days. And it took me like 3 weeks. And I was a maintenance officer, so like I said, I was a great emailer though.
Well, I have some aversion to instructions, so that's a problem for me.
I did put it together several times and then read the instructions, and then put it together right.
Yeah, I do that often. I'll try it and then I'll look at the instructions to see if I got it right. And it's like, oh no, it would have been easier if I did it this way.
Yeah.
But that's how it works. Let's see. There's a question about your flag in the background. If it has any military history, I don't know. You said your wife decorated, but
so my it's, I don't know. This is kind of personal, but our house burnt right after I retired.
Wow.
Yeah. A car caught on in the fire in the garage, and our house burnt. I mean, we lost everything.
Wow.
And my in the military, we refer to it as my "I love me" wall. And my wife displayed my "I love me" wall well. She had all her flags. I had flags from military bases that were flown all over the world, and I lost all that. We lost our baby stuff, our shoes and stuff. And so my wife made me that.
That's very nice.
Made out of wood.
That's rough. That's something that not a lot of people experience, luckily, but it's really tragic.
It was totally a fluke, and the story is unbelievable, but it was weird, not really unbelievable. It's just weird. But
Yeah.
we had a car catch on fire in the garage, and it was during the winter, and we had our grill in the garage with extra propane tanks, and we had some firewood out there. It was just once it, it it had a short in the car, and once it went, it went.
Yeah. It doesn't take much, and it's a total surprise. I have a
Yeah, so
friend
it's a
who had
heck of a time to wake up in the middle of the night, like at midnight, and you know, that's tough. Probably one of the harder things I've ever had to do.
yeah. Yeah, because you're really helpless at that point. And no matter how prepared
we
you
just
think
had
you are.
The house was on the side of a mountain, and it had it was basically split level because part of the house is downhill, and we couldn't get out from the top because that went to the garage part. So we had to go downstairs and go out the bottom of the house, and it was a very traumatic time. It really was.
Wow. Wow. Well, thank you for sharing that, and
Well, that's a
glad
little
that's
deep.
in the
I'm sorry.
past. Yeah,
Supposed to
yeah.
be happy.
That's right.
I mean,
Hey, well,
when I seen that flag, it really touched me, though. I was like, yeah, there's a little story behind that.
yeah, that's nice. That's nice. So there's some questions about TYM Tractors, which is your tractor of choice on your channel, correct?
Correct.
And
I would consider myself a TYM ambassador.
you are an ambassador for TYM. We got you got the hat, so
Listen, hey, big kudos. My sister made that for me.
Get out, really?
Yeah, she has a embroidery business, and she made me those.
That's very fancy, very neat. So TYM is a company that are they upcoming? Because it's not, obviously it's not a brand I've heard of a lot, but I certainly have heard of it just following different YouTube channels.
You
but I don't
probably
think
have
I
not
don't know if we have
heard of-
dealers in this area or.
Right, you probably have not heard about a TYM as much, but you probably have seen TYMs and not realized it.
Right.
TYM makes a lot of other tractors for other companies. And then about 10 or 11 years ago, they started coming into the United States under their own name. And they still make a lot of other tractor companies, tractors and parts. They're like, I'm just going to say it so that everybody knows. So if you go look at where it's made, it says it on the name tag of the tractor. So a lot of the Mahindra tractors are made
Right.
By TYM.
Right.
A lot of all of the Rural King tractors are made by TYM.
Okay.
And then I think it's McCormick. What some of theirs are. TYM has had a partial ownership of Branson for a long time, but this past or this year they bought 100%. They own all of Branson now.
Right.
So it's a big company. It's one of the largest manufacturers of tractors in the world. But
Right.
you just you'll see a different color and a different made for somebody else. And now they're coming on really hard in the United States. They're really one of the fastest tractor companies, fastest growing tractor companies in the United States.
Right.
So.
Well, and the good thing is with all those different brands, the parts are probably interchangeable, and you can probably get parts relatively easily if needed.
I mean, they have a huge warehouse. They're when they first come in the country, you see a lot of in the tractor forums where, well, you can't get parts for TYMs. Well, that was 12 years ago you couldn't get parts for TYMs, but now they're I said they're worldwide. They have an assembly plant in Texas. They have an assembly plant in North Carolina. They've got factories all over. They got factories in Korea, and then they've got big warehouses. So yeah, parts are not an issue.
Yeah, and even our American-made tractors are made all over the world. So it's really
yeah. There really is no such thing as an American-made tractor anymore.
Right. Right.
I mean, really, there's not. I'm a tractor guy. Obviously, that's what my channel's about. So I would love for TYM to put a plant here and start making tractors right here.
Sure.
But I mean, most tractors are made somewhere else.
Right.
I would say the 80 horsepower and below. And,
right.
I'm definitely pro America, and wish we made more. But
right.
we live in the world we live in, and
right.
I really part of my acceptance of TYM is that they're from South Korea, and from a military perspective, and South Korea is a really good ally for us. They've always been very supportive of the United States, and like after 9/11, they opened their bases up to us, and there's a lot of other countries just like, no, we don't want to talk to you.
Right, right.
Yeah, so South Korea is, it's got from the military side, it's got a soft spot for me too.
We're allowed to have friends around the world, right?
Right, we sure are, and it's better when they like us back.
Right, exactly. Yeah, it's got to go both ways. But yeah, even my tractor's a Kubota, and we know that's a Japanese brand, but they have a plant, I think, a giant plant in Georgia.
Right,
I'm not sure what
they do a lot of. I think they make some of their stuff there, don't they?
I think so. I think they do.
I know they bring in parts from Japan and other places too, but again, they're it's like there's not 100% tractor made anywhere.
Right. Yeah, that's true. And same with cars
or
these days.
Or Ford or Chevrolet or.
No, that's right. They're all sourced from around the world, and I think it's interesting. We won't talk about this long, but America invented the television, and you can't buy an American-made television anymore. And that's kind of sad to me.
I say America invented the cell phone. They don't make it now.
Yeah.
They're literally, the United States does not make a cell phone anymore. So that's one of my, I don't start a ruckus, but I get people that will come and post on the channel and go, you shouldn't buy that foreign tractor. I'm like, well, let me know which one that you think I should.
Yeah, right. Show me a tractor that's not foreign. So,
and by the way, you just type that out on a Chinese-made phone. That's
right. That's right. So Edward Joyce has a question: is there a dealership in your area?
I have one. I have one 2 miles, really good dealership. I have two really good dealerships that are within. One is 2 miles from me, and the other one is about 35, 40 minutes. And both of them, one's on one side of the river and one's on the other, but like I said, it's 35 minutes to get there. Either one. They're pretty good to each other. They, if one of them's out of a filter or something,
yeah. And you said that TYM is, I guess I don't know if they own or manufacture Rural King.
Yeah, all of the RK tractors are manufactured by TYM. Okay. TYM is the manufacturer. That's where they're kind of different than other tractor companies. That tractor is made in South Korea. It's all made there. It's
Yeah, I know that Chad over at Purple Collar Life did a little series on RK tractors. He tested out a few and did some neat demonstrations with that. Yeah, good stuff.
They're ordered to their specs. There are differences, but it's nothing that like you can't. If you can get it on an RK tractor, you can get it on a TYM.
Right. Yeah, that's good stuff. I see a comment here about Coyote tractors. We have a Coyote dealer near here, and I stopped by and just looked at some of the equipment. I was pretty impressed with what I saw there.
So I went to the GIE Expo, and I met John Ritter there from Ritter Bit Wadoo.
Yes, you guys John just released a little walkabout video with you too.
Yeah,
it was fun to watch.
Well, we had a talk while we were walking around there, and we were talking about tractors, and we seen Coyotes, and we seen all kind of brands there, but I don't think anybody makes a really bad tractor anymore. There's they might have a model that's less, but overall they make a good, everybody makes a good tractor. So then if everybody makes a decent tractor, then you're back to dealer support.
Right.
That's to the key buying,
Yeah.
We all get a great tractor, but can you get support for it? So
that's what I had heard when I was searching out my tractor, was all about the dealer. We have John Deere nearby, had 2 Kubota dealers within 10 minutes of either direction. There is a Mahindra dealer not far from here. So, but you're right. It's about if you need support from the dealer. And of course, one of my early videos was I bent my front end loader, and of course I needed dealer support for that because it was an insurance claim with Kubota Insurance, and so it worked out pretty well. But yeah, dealer support's a big issue for sure, a big factor when you're searching. I'm looking to see if there's any specific questions. I don't want to miss anything from folks.
So
I saw a question. What's that?
You said one of Dave White said how did Tony make it through GI with that John guy. Listen, me and John have talked on YouTube and texting, instant messenger for I guess probably a couple of years now. And I met him for the first time at GIE, and it was like I just walked up to my brother. I mean, it's like I've known him forever, even though
Yeah.
I never shook his hand in person. And we walked. Listen, I was totally comfortable with the guy. He's awesome.
Yeah, that he is, and that's fun that you got to meet up after a couple of years. That's pretty fun. And that GIE conference looks like a fun place to be. So, thank you, David White, for the super sticker there.
There you go.
Poor John's still trying to win these stickers, and we'll see if he.
Yeah. So John told me to tell you that he believes the sticker contest is rigged.
Thinks it's rigged just
That's what he
because
said.
John never wins.
Because John never wins. He said he believes it's rigged. I was like, I'm going to ask him about that tonight.
Both his daughters have gotten stickers, and they didn't even play, so maybe it is rigged. No, we've had some generous winners say, you know what, I want to send those stickers to John's daughters for helping out. So that's pretty funny.
That's awesome.
So anyway, John echoes your words. He had a great time talking with you too. So that's fun. There's a question here from Caden, from Caden's Outdoor Life. How many hours are you up to on the new T25?
My main man, Kate, I am, let's see, about 42, 43. I bought my filter, and my filters the other day, and I'm getting ready to do, whenever I hit that 50, I'm going to do, which won't be long the way I work.
Yeah.
We'll do a video on how to service the T25.
I was going to say you're approaching that first service, right?
Mm-hmm.
So great.
There's the 260. Now that's a good example of I want to give him a plug if you don't mind. He's had the 264, which is the prior model of the T25. T25 and T60 or 264 are really close to similar tractors, and he's got 420 hours on it. And it's the big 474 we have, it's got 150 hours on it.
Right.
And it's never been to the shop, so that's why I say they make good tractors, and
yeah.
I think everybody does. It's just,
Caden's working it then, 420 hours.
Yes, he is. He absolutely is working it. He makes some good videos. They're real fun.
Nice. I saw a question earlier about crane truck, and we had Hank Hamilton on here as a guest one time, and he talked about he named that truck for you.
He did name that truck for me.
Ichabod Crane.
Ichabod Crane.
Yeah, it's a great looking truck. I there's something about that truck. It's just fun. But how's it running? How's it working for you?
It starts. I mean, I don't want to jinx myself, but it starts on the first go. But basically, the engine's new. It's got the engine block's the same, but it's got a new carburetor, ignition system, wires, plugs. It's just we went through it pretty well. So I would drive the engine to California. I'm not sure the cab would be there.
Right. What is that, like a 1970 or so, right?
It's a 1970 crane. It's my pet. I don't know. Just you get in muddy shoes, you don't care. It's like, hey, it's that good. It's that kind of truck. And having a crane, I'm telling you, once you get
who has a crane? Come on,
listen. Once you get a crane, you're done. I mean, I use it all the time for everything.
Yeah. Oh, you were setting the trusses, the steel trusses on the pole barn. How else would you do that? That's great.
Yeah, I did a lot of crane work in the military. The first part of my career, I did a lot of crane work. So got a background in that, and anything construction-ish, I've had something to do with it. Just about.
Nice.
Jack of all trades and master of nothing.
Exactly. Well, excuse me for a second. I'm going to go tell my wife I need a crane. So.
Listen, I'm telling you, once you get a crane, man, you picked it. We had those big boards. They're 2x10s, and I would have had to pick them up by hand. I made a sling and picked them up with a crane. So I just walked up. She put me in the man basket, and I just drilled the screw holes. That was it. I mean, I didn't pick up anything. So
wow.
I always look for a way to not kill my back anymore.
That's smart. That's smart, right?
Too late. it was a little too late. The smartness was a little too late.
Well, listen, what do you say? What do you say we give away a sticker tonight? I'm going to give away my bumper sticker tonight, and we'll let some people chime in, and we'll do a little giveaway, and then we'll talk a little bit more. We're almost at the 8 o'clock hour. You know, it goes real quick, and I want to make sure you have time to talk about anything else you want to talk about. But for tonight, we'll do this sticker giveaway, and if you're new to the channel, what you'll do if you're in the United States or Canada is you will enter a word just the way I show it to you in the live chat, and then we have a random comment picker that will pick the winner. You only need to enter once. If you've won this bumper sticker in the past, please don't enter because we want to give everybody a chance. However, if you've won the round stickers in the past, you can enter to win this too. So we'll have a chance for a lot of people to enter. So we'll do this. What I'm going to do is share this word, and again, you'll type it just as you see it, but I like to play this music. So for Tony tonight, just type in the word #Tony, and you'll see, yeah, Chris at Watershed, Ichabod would have been good, but who knows how to spell Ichabod?
Listen, I had to look it up.
Yeah. Actually, I looked it up too after Hank talked about the crane. Like, what is... That was from the Headless Horseman story.
That's right.
Ichabod Crane. So, but I didn't remember that.
I heard there was a book about it, but I only seen the cartoon.
Yeah. That Hank must be a smart guy. If he's well read, I guess. If he knows about Ichabod Crane.
He plays it, but that cat is smart right there.
He's a smart guy, right?
Yeah, he really is.
Now he is also retired military, but did you cross paths in the military?
No, we, believe it or not, me and Hank we started the YouTube thing out kind of, I was a little bit before him, and we met, you know, just talking online, and, you know, he was retired military, I'm retired military, and he's my brother from another mother. We probably talk, I bet we talk 15, 20 times a week.
You're kind of two peas in a pod, I think.
Yeah, he's good people. I think
you speak the same language.
We do, and a lot of different dialects.
Yeah. That's great. So we've got 41 entries here. We're gonna pull the trigger here shortly and see who wins this sticker. I wonder if John entered tonight.
I think he should after all that. What, you know, he kind of put me up there. John, you owe me $20, man, for saying that.
You're not the first person to say that. I think John has said that he thinks it's rigged.
Well, my understanding is you go back there and pick it on your own. And
yeah.
You're a little piece of paper back there you're writing on. You're making it look like you're doing something there.
I just deleted John from the possibilities here. So, all right. Well, we're gonna see now. I'm gonna hit this button. It'll take about 15 seconds, maybe less.
I've seen John go by.
I saw it go by. Oh, it's Backyard Maine. Congratulations, Backyard Maine.
Congratulations.
Awesome. Sorry, John. Keep trying, though. And for anybody else as well.
Look, Dave White put #John. That's funny.
Anyway, so Backyard Maine, what I'm going to need you to do is to send me an email. Let me pull this up on the screen here. Send an email to contactmcgtv@gmail.com. Let me know that you were the winner of the bumper sticker tonight, and I'll need your name and your mailing address, and I will get this out to you in the mail. Thanks so much for playing along and for entering. Congratulations, Backyard Maine. And I see a little saw logo there, so I don't know if we're doing some sawmilling there or what's going on there, but we'll check that out. There we go. Reminder for folks to please hit the thumbs up if you're watching tonight. What else, Tony, before we wrap things up? Anything else that we didn't talk about that we should have? Anything we talked about that we shouldn't have?
Well, I do want to make an apology because I tried to keep up with the comments, but they're going. I know I missed some comments. People said stuff to us, and I couldn't keep up with it. It was going too fast.
It's difficult. It really is, and I tell people, don't feel bad if we didn't pull out your comment.
Well, I'm really smarter, or not as smart as I look, and so it's hard for me.
You're just a pretty face, huh?
That's it, man.
It's
Really,
just another pretty face.
Yeah. So, I was thinking about what's going on in the channel. I guess I do have
Yeah.
something really, really big coming out next year. It's a huge thing for us, and you gotta
Any
wait
hints,
for
or
that.
can you not
That's,
talk
that's
about
a
it yet?
cliffhanger right there, right?
Right.
So first of next year, there's going to be a big announcement, and you have me back on. I'll tell you what it is then.
What's? Oh yeah, all right. That'll be good. We'll do that.
Yeah,
We'll have you back
but
at the.
but as far as the Tony's Tractor Adventure Homestead, we are, we're going through the struggles of life. We have equipment, it breaks. The sawmill's broke. We fixed it. We work some more. Sawmill breaks again. It's just I always say this, if you own any sawmill, I don't care which brand, you're going to be a good mechanic. So if you have, let me rephrase it. If you have an operational sawmill, you're
Yeah.
a good mechanic. So yeah, they're tough, and there's a lot of it's got to be very like right on. It's got to be right on to work right. So and I decided, in Tony fashion, you remember the TV character Home Improvement, or Tim Allen, what was
Oh
it?
yeah.
Yeah,
Tim the
he's
Tool
kind of like
Man.
my hero. So I decided that it would be a really wonderful idea to put a 14 horsepower engine on my sawmill that came with 7 horsepower. And I picked up the final part today.
Nice.
So I went through, rebuilt the whole thing, because those bearings, like they wear out. So whenever
Yeah.
one wears out, you should replace them all. That's something I just
Yeah.
learned this year. So don't replace one. Spend $80 and put all of them in one time.
Now with twice the horsepower, you can wear them out twice as fast.
That's right. I mean, it's kind of my whole thought process. But
Hey, if it
I want
fits,
to see how far I can throw sawdust. That's really the
yeah,
goal.
awesome.
But, so
Hey, if you can make it fit,
yeah, we're working on the sawmill. We are we just cleaned out a big spot with a tractor. It's coming out tonight, right after this video. We got a video dropping tonight, and it's where we're probably one of the most interesting tractor videos that we've ever done. And I'm going to be real honest, I did not edit this video. I had a gentleman edit. He's helping us do some of the videos, because we're working so much right now that I couldn't do this video.
wow.
And it kind of makes me look bad, man, because this is really good.
Welcome to Hollywood, man. You got an editor going for you.
Well, like that, but we so that's what we're doing. We're clearing out space for the firewood processor. At some point, I hope to make some money with a firewood processor. That's an in game.
Yeah.
Because we burn a lot of firewood around here. People burn a lot of firewood.
Yeah.
And I don't mind the work. I like the work. It keeps me young. And but the firewood processor takes some of the abuse out of it. And
It sounds like a perfect marriage, because you've got the mill. You're going to save the nice straight wood, but you're going to have ends to cut up for firewood. And
that was my logic. And
yeah.
So we're going to buy logs. At some point we can't cut every tree off of our property down. That's just not
Right.
going to happen. And but we've got an access to some loggers here locally, and they'll allow us to buy small loads of logs when we need them.
Yeah.
And that's what we're going to do.
What's your lumber of choice? Are you yellow pine down there, or what's your?
Yellow pine has a lot of pros because it's lighter and it's strong. It's very strong wood. But my probably as far as cutting on the sawmill,
Cutting and using, like what's a good all around wood for you?
in game for us is, at some point in the later portion of my life, I want to make furniture. So I'm very much cherry, maple. I have a passion for furniture. I've made several pieces, and I love woodworking. And that's probably should have said that earlier on. But I have a passion for woodworking and just working. Like I said, seeing the grain come off. It's pretty unique. And you can get lumber from a sawmill that you can't get from like Lowe's or because it's all mass produced. I can cut a specific piece of wood at a specific grain pattern.
Right.
That it's not going to warp where they can't.
You're also not going to get an 18-inch piece of lumber, 18 inches wide at
Right.
your traditional lumber yard.
But you can get it, but it's going to cost you.
Yeah, yeah.
So
So
other than that, we're just moving on. We're eventually we're going to build our house there. We're doing post and beam. That's our end game, and so like learning to make those beams.
yeah,
That's why I'm doing it now. It's that building that the sawmill is going on. That's temporary. That's a 2-year building. We're probably going to tear that down and move it somewhere else.
really.
Oh yeah, it's just
How
temporary.
about
It's
that?
not going to stay there.
And what is that? Is that a machine shed? Is that going to be just
That's just where the sawmill's going to sit.
the sawmill will be in that
No,
pole barn?
there's two different building sites going on at the same time. So this is the real life part. So we build a pole barn at the front of our property. That's going to stay. But I need to put a roof over the sawmill because the winter's coming. And so I stopped the pole barn to put the roof over. Then the sawmill broke down.
Right.
So I need the wood from the sawmill to build. So it's just that never-ending, domino.
Yeah.
So what do? You get on the tractor and go do something else until you get the parts in for the sawmill. And that's kind of what we did. So and then when the parts come in today, and now tomorrow I'm going to put sawmills together, and then we'll start sawmill up, and then finish the roof, and then we'll go back to cutting timber for the pole barn, because the pole barn is going to have another lean-to on the edge of it, so it's going to end up being 50 by 40, and we're going to put wood all the way around it. It's cut off of our sawmill. We're going to do board and batten. And so it's going to have some of the old and some of the new, it'll be board and batten, but it's going to have modern windows and insulation.
That's fun. That's
Yeah,
really
so
great.
some days it's fun.
Yeah.
It looks fun on every video though.
Well, I'm, as you know, I'm looking into pole barns for the property, but not anything rough sawn like
I think,
like you're doing
but-
there. And you contributed to the live stream one night too, which I thank you for that again.
That was fun
To
night.
the-
I remember
to the-
that. Yeah.
Yeah. So we're still searching it out, but it's going to be a matter of hiring somebody to set it up. And anyway, just in the early stages of
Listen,
researching
not
it.
knowing how to do it never stopped me.
Uh-huh.
But my pole barn's not really that square. Who cares?
Yeah. Well, a lot of things only you will see it.
Yeah.
It's
It's
we
square
live-
enough.
we live in a crooked house that actually my father built this house
Right.
years ago, and myself, I've been remodeling it, and I found the house is like 8 inches out of square. I went to put the floor in the kitchen, and the tile goes from literally one end of the kitchen, the other 0 to like 6 inches, and it's like this whole house is racked, and didn't know
Absolutely.
that for 50 years, but
Well, it may not have been that way when it started. I said my granddad built houses forever, and he was really good at it. And that's one thing he said: if you build a house out of wood, it'll be square the day you put it up, but it won't be square.
it'll
for long
settle
after.
and all that. Yeah. So things
wood
happen.
wood moves a lot more than we realize.
Yeah, yep, that's true. So let's check out the comments one last time here, see if we missed anything from folks. I'm looking through now.
I know I missed some questions, but
Yeah.
So because the eyes are not as good as they once were, and I kind of refuse to wear the reading glasses. I got a big, huge TV screen for a computer monitor, so it makes the comments be way over here to the side.
Yeah, you got to look way over there for the.
That's
the
why everybody.
comments.
If you're wondering why I keep looking to the right, it's not because I'm not don't look at the camera, but all the comments are way over here.
Well, look, I wear contact lenses for distance, so I take out my contacts when I do the live stream because the contacts would make it difficult to see. So I either have to have contacts in and reading glasses for close up, or take the contacts out. It's
There's a good question there.
it's aging.
So
What's the question?
It says, "Do you watch Sawing with Sandy?" Absolutely, I watch Sawing with Sandy. He's kind of my hero. He's probably already forgot more about sawmilling than I'm ever going to learn. That's one smart guy too, man.
I was watching several of his videos just last night.
Yeah, I watch a lot of his stuff. He is a very smart guy. Very smart guy.
Yeah,
And he kind of like a kindred spirit in that respect. He's not afraid to try.
right.
He may not know. I've never done this before, but I'm going to do it. So
He's done some neat things. I was watching the video about his little cabin that he built, and he's getting his money's worth out of that mill.
all of that cabin was built with green wood.
How about that?
Yeah.
I didn't know you could do that. I thought the wood had to be cured or
Well,
seasoned?
it's a common misconception of marketing because what about all of the settlers that came here? They had the old sawmills. They didn't have kilns.
Right.
They cut trees up, threw them on the sawmill, made boards, and away they went. There's an art to it, but it's how you build. That's why you do board and batten, because your boards are going to go up like this, and as they dry, they're going to
They shrink up,
open.
yeah, and you got gaps.
But you got the batten over the center of the crack. That's what hides the, and your batten's shrinking too. But once you learn how to do it, it all works out. I'm sitting here.
And it allows for expansion, contraction. So
yeah,
awesome.
More contraction.
Right. Yeah. Yep. It shrinks down. So, well, look, Tony, I don't want to keep you any longer, but I hope you'll come back and join us again, especially when you have this major announcement for the channel.
You're the first place that this has been talked about.
How about that? Yeah. Even though we don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, but it's got you intrigued now.
It does, right? So tune in. Remember, everybody, head on over to Tony's Tractor Adventure Homestead after this. Check out his content, subscribe to his channel, and follow along, because it is for sure an adventure. And please give my best to your wife. I'm sorry she didn't join us, because tell her she does. You don't have to tell her, but she does such a great job with the camera work and
everybody that watches the channel knows that she's the talent.
Yeah. Well, and she's joined you on camera as well, and you have a good thing going there. So certainly wish you the best with everything, and I'm really happy that you joined us tonight. I can't thank you enough.
It's an honor. I've been watching your live. Anytime I can be here to watch your lives, I do. I really enjoy watching you guys talk, and you've had some pretty awesome guests, and it's been really entertaining, and I learned a lot. You see people on YouTube and you think you know a little bit about them, and then you watch somebody do an interview with them, you're like, wow, that's I didn't think that.
I appreciate that, and I've been very fortunate that good folks like yourself have agreed to jump on. We had Tractor Time with Tim last week.
I hated to ruin that streak for you, but but hey, I am who I am.
Hey, we're glad you're here, and John Ritter was my very first live stream guest, and he's the one who really helped me get this whole thing going.
I believe I watched that one.
Yeah, that's fun. And then of course Hank joined us, and I had Josh from Stony Ridge join us, and Tractor Mike. What a great time that was talking to him. What a knowledgeable guy he is.
I met him at a farm machinery show a couple of years ago. He's a pretty cool dude.
Yeah, really nice, and like I said, everybody I've met so far is really nice. So again, thank you, Tony. We're going to wrap things up for tonight, but remember, folks, check out Tony's channel. Thank you for watching tonight. Keep an eye out for new videos coming out on Tony's channel, my channel. Check out some of these other channels that you see in the live stream and in the live chat. And Tony, I'll be reaching out, and we'll catch up again.
All right, buddy.
Thanks so much. Have a great night.
See y'all.